Hello and welcome to Ryno's Orioles Report. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Well, what exactly do I say about this? Had a decent stretch after the All-Star break, but ultimately not enough. Because, yes, as of right now, some things are not finalized with the trade deadline that is at 6 p.m. today. So, several hours ahead of that. But the news is already out there circulating. Adley Rutschman, Taylor Ward, gone today. Over the weekend, Dean Kramer. Yeah, selling. Orioles selling at the deadline. Not buying, selling. You're not selling and buying if you're selling Kramer, Ward, and Rutschman. Kramer and Ward, maybe I could get. You sell Rutschman too? Hell, you're phoning in next year too. I mean, that practically admits that one, you can't draft worth shit. And two, you're going to be rebuilding for at least another year and a quarter. Because you're not going to trade Rutschman if you expect to compete next year. Right? Yeah. However, we shall see. But, got to get to the game with the games with the Phillies. Yes, this is MaxonSports.com. I will get to them later. Let's take you to MLB.com. This is the scores section. Yes, I've laid this out multiple times. Here you see all the scores for all the games and the certain days. That's how I get to where I go for these games. This is game one of the three-game series between the Baltimore Orioles and the Philadelphia Phillies. Again, game one, Baltimore Orioles 6, Philadelphia Phillies 4. They got a win. How about that? Against a winning ball club. Good for them. But again, too little too late, I guess. Beavers leading off. Who else you got? Everybody injured or traded away. Well, maybe not by this game. Hit and a walk for Beavers. Alonso, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Gunnar Henderson hitting 2 RBIs. Oh, Gunnar Henderson finally decided to show up at the plate. I guess he'll be traded next year. Taylor Ward, 0 with 2 walks. Lady Tavares, 0. Jackson Holiday, hit and a walk. Kobe Mayo, 0. What is your first name? Jake, right? I did, Jake Rogers, which I'll get into the news at the end. Jake Rogers coming in. There's pinch hittings because you got Mayo and then you got Cowser at the bottom parts of the lineup. Well, you want to pinch hit for Encarnacion Strand for Pozo. Well, that's a third baseman. So what do you got to do? You got to put your next catcher in there for Mayo at third base. So Jake Rogers in there catch does get an at bat, but hitless in that at bat. Colton Cowser. I'm sorry. Mayo is 7th, and then Pozo is 9th. Cowser is sandwiched in between them. Colton Cowser, 0 with 2 walks. Interesting. Yoel Pozo, 0 in 2 at-bats. Christian Encarnacion Strand, 1 hit and 2 RBIs. Well, that was a smart decision. Scrolling down, wrong side of the thing. Beavers, Encarnacion Strand with doubles. Gunnar Henderson with a triple. Pete Alonso with a home run. Yeah, you can bully around the lower end of other teams' pitchers, but you can't do that with the high-end pitchers, huh? Yeah. Why didn't you just trade Gunnar Henderson this season? Could have gotten a lot more for him. Since obviously you're not even going to try to compete next year. Brandon Young gets a start in this game, going 5 2/3 of an inning. Yeah, really tried to get pushed through it, just couldn't do it. And there at the end, ended up throwing 94 pitches. Gives up 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. It's not terrible. It did keep the team in the game, but did need the offense to actually do their job. They did. Josh Walker, first man out of the pen, getting the last out of the 6th inning and the first out of the 7th inning. He does give up a hit, but no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Anthony Nunez in to finish off the 7th inning. The last 2 outs of the 7th inning. No hits, no runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Yennier Cano in for the 8th. Pitching the full 8th. No hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Tyler Wells in for the 9th, getting his 4th save of the year. No hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Look at these challenges. Pozo, 2 confirms. JT Realmuto. I'm sorry, yeah. Pozo with his 2 confirms, as in he challenged and it was confirmed. JT Realmuto, the Phillies catcher, 1 overturn. That's cool. That's cool. Good job. All right, so let's get... Yeah, I want to make sure it's muted. Let's get to the condensed game. Again, this is game 1, and I'm going to get to my notes. There we go. All right. Alonso picks up Young. That's in the Orioles half of the inning because Brandon Young gives up 2 runs here. In the top half of the inning, Pete Alonso gets his home run in the bottom half. Jackson Holliday has a nice play in the 3rd. Gunnar Henderson makes a nice play and even has time to wipe off his hands. It's kind of muddy. It's a little bit muddy. They do wet the infield. Why is the video gone to shit already? So you have the potential to get mud on your hand, and if you grip the baseball and you got a bit of mud on your hand, can that be part of why maybe Gunnar has bad throws sometimes? It's possible, but I guess he realized he had time, wiped his hand off, gripped the baseball, threw it over there. It's a nice play. That was in the 5th inning. Holliday has a nice play to end the 5th inning. Gunnar has another good play in the 7th. Then you do have, I want to say it's in the 8th, but we'll get to it. Nunez, with at least 1 runner on, able to strike out Bryce Harper, so that's a good thing. Here you see Dylan Beavers with the lead-off double. Pete Alonso is batting now. Pinch hitter in the 7th, that was Christian Encarnacion Strand. Good decision right there. And then the Gunnar triple. Hey, I got it in time just before they started visualizing my notes here. All right, good. Good for me. Yeah, there's a pass ball here. It's our wild. They call it a wild pitch. Doesn't really matter. Alonso goes opposite field for a 2-run home run. Yay. Too bad they couldn't do some more of that in some of the other games. No, we can't do anything. We'll get all these guys on base, and we're just not going to do anything. Oh, okay, cool. Makes you wonder why the guy was selling. Of course he was selling. It's almost a good thing that they started playing well, because then maybe you're selling a little higher on him. Of course, but of course, Rutschman was injured, because of course. Let's call out Basayo for his toughness. Let's not call out Adley Rutschman for his toughness. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's try to fast forward through this shit. I don't know. They're not really worth wasting this much time on anymore. They're a bunch of bums from the top to the damn bottom of the organization. All right, here we go. We're getting into the 3rd inning here. Top of the 3rd. Not sure where exactly. Oh. Not exactly sure how that one leaked out. I mean, I thought maybe that's what happens when you want to pull the damn fences in. Should have left them out. I can't believe they pulled the damn fence back in. I hate that. I hate that. I liked it when the outfield was big out there in left field. I feel like it just helped the defense. If you're a strong enough right-handed hitter, you'll hit. Here's a good Jackson Holliday play. If you're a strong enough right-handed hitter, you were going to hit it out. Stop giving up these cheap-ass home runs to left field. That was a cheap-ass home run. Sorry, Trey Turner, you hit the ball, you got it over the fence, good job. It's a cheap-ass home run. Sorry. Maybe that's just my opinion. Yeah, you get a leadoff walk and then a single right behind it. Gunnar strikes out. Taylor Ward grounds out. Tavares strikes out. I mean, you finally move the guys over here, Taylor Ward, but it's 2 outs. Why couldn't you do that, Gunnar? You're a left-handed hitter. You couldn't pull the ball down to first base, man? Why were they talking about trading Adley Rutschman, as they have been for a while, but yet nobody wants to trade Gunnar Henderson? Is it because he's been playing so bad recently? You don't think you can get much for him? Maybe next year some more skill is developed and then you can get more for him next year? Hopefully that's what it is. Alright, nothing happens in this 4th inning because they suck. Here we go, top of the 5th inning now. We're going to have a couple good plays. This should be the play what I'm talking about, Henderson wiping his hand off. I mean, it's a good play to get it. You couldn't really see it from that angle. We'll get another angle right here. And it looks like he wipes his hand off, which is smart. Maybe realizing that he had the time. It's a fairly decent play by Jackson Holliday there. Jumping up, elevating. It's Bryce Harper. You got a runner on. You definitely want to get the out. Not a whole lot happening in the 5th either. Nothing really happens until the 7th. So let's fast forward. Oh, I mean, for the Orioles anyway. Well, actually, let's look at that because, again, JT Realmuto, he's certainly a capable ball player. He's a little on the older side. He had plenty of strength to get that over the wall. That wasn't a cheap home run. However, yeah, I mean, nothing until the 6th, so let's get to the 7th. All right. There was a steal attempt here, and for some reason they didn't want to show you the full video. They wanted to start it. Here's another good play by Gunnar. They just wanted to start it at the end of this stolen base instead of, let's say, at the start of this at-bat. Okay. I mean, all right, however you like. That's fine. Anthony Nunez getting Bryce Harper there with 2 men on. 2 outs, but still. Here, the 7th inning here is where the Orioles do their damage. More damage anyway. I guess they got the 2 runs from Alonso in the first. Leadoff hit. Then you're going to get a strikeout by Mayo. And then you're going to get a walk by Colton Cowser. So, first and second. And you get a gapper in the left center field. It doesn't go to the wall, but it's in the gap. Able to tie the game up. It's a good thing that was Cowser. Anybody else may not have gotten it because they'd have been slower. And then we're going to have some other thing. You're going to have a hit by pitch. Pitching change. We're going to get Gunnar up here with 2 men on. Right? Here's Gunnar with 2 men on. He's finally going to hit the baseball. Good job. It's going to go all the way to the wall out there in right center field. They were playing him to go the other way in the outfield, which doesn't make sense. You don't really know Camden Yards as a triples park, but right center field, if the center fielder isn't playing straight up the middle, if he's playing a little bit in the left center field and the ball goes in the right center field, a lot of parks turn into triple parks that way. Gunnar Henderson with the triple. That would be the winning hit. Shocker, right? With 2 outs. Because you see you had a Dylan Beavers strikeout. And then the Kobe Manning strike. There were 2 outs. Gunnar Henderson came through with 2 outs. And got a hit. And got a triple. Of course, then you couldn't get him in after that. Which is fine, I guess. Because he still won the game. But, whew. That's about it. That's about all the good news for the Baltimore Orioles. Because other than that, they sucked ass. 13 unanswered runs by the Phillies. The next 2 games. Though, the last game wasn't a full game. Here's game 2. Baltimore Orioles, nothing. Philadelphia Phillies, 5. Kobe Mayo leading off. I'm sorry, what? Ofer. Smart idea. Dylan Beavers pinch hitting late, 1 hit. Obviously, they started a lefty on the mound, the Philadelphia Phillies. A fairly good lefty, so that's why all the strikeouts. And then later in the game, they put a righty in there, so Dylan Beavers. Taylor Ward, Ofer with a walk. Thanks, Taylor. Gunnar Henderson hitting a walk. It's no use getting your hits now, Gunnar, if nobody else is going to hit. Pete Alonso, over 3 strikeouts. You're supposed to know these guys, Pete. What the hell? Tyler O'Neill hitting a walk. It's no point getting your hits now, Tyler. Nobody else wants to hit. Christian Encarnacion Strand, 2 walks. 0 for 2. Larry Tavares, 0 for 4. Jackson Holiday, 0 for 4. 3 strikeouts. 14 strikeouts on the night for the Orioles. Jake Rogers, 0 for 2 strikeouts. Total bases, Beavers, Henderson, O'Neill, 1 apiece. Stolen base, Dylan Beavers. So they did get somebody to score in position. Fielding, Jake Rogers with a pickoff. Back pick after the pitch, however you wanted to say it. It is technically scored as a pickoff. All right, well, there's something. It's about the only exciting thing for the Orioles in this game. Shane Baz goes 6 1/3 of an inning. Get the hell out of here. You have your starting pitcher go 6 1/3 of an inning and only gives up 1 run, and your incompetent-ass offense can't do anything? Maybe that's what your damn problem is. 6 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts for Baz. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. He definitely did not deserve a loss. Okay, he gave up 1 run, and it was the winning run for the Phillies. But come on, man. Your offense has got to get you 1 run and at least get your starting pitcher off the hook after that. No, can't do it. How many pitches did you throw, Baz? 99. Rico Garcia in to get out of the 7th inning. Well, he doesn't. No hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Grant Wolfram, he did us in. Well, coming up to the top part of that Phillies lineup, where you got, what the shortstop's name? I just said it. Trey Turner, and then you got Schwarber, Kyle Schwarber, and then you got Bryce Harper. So you want to put your lefty in there. The problem is, he's not that good of a lefty compared to lefty relievers. Grant Wolfram really isn't that good. Compared to relievers overall, he's decent, but he's like this left-handed reliever that apparently has just as much trouble getting out a left-handed hitter than he does a right-handed hitter, which doesn't make sense. But however, 1 out. 1 out in the 8th inning. That's all Wolfram was able to get. Doesn't even give up a hit. But he gives up 2 runs and 2 walks, no strikeouts. Andrew Kittredge in relief of Wolfram in that 8th inning. Also only able to get 1 out. Why don't you trade this guy away? Again. Gives up 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why Michael Elias still has his job. I really don't. Maybe be different if they had done a little bit better, but you paid Kittredge for the first year, you paid him for the second year, then you traded him, you got something for him, and then you traded back for him so you could exercise the option. And he's got a 4 ERA. Okay, he's done fine at certain points, but too many of these, really. Yarmil Geraldo coming in to get out of the 8th inning. Oh, well, now you know it's over. Now you know they're selling. I'm sorry. Yarmil Geraldo, to this point in his career, he sucks ass as a pitcher. I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but it's true. He got a 12 ERA, and they keep bringing him up and putting him into games. At this point, it's 5-0. Who the hell cares? The Phillies don't care about getting any more runs. Hell, you're past the top of the lineup. It don't matter anymore. Yarmil Geraldo does get through the 8th inning and then pitches the full 9th inning. He does give up 1 hit, but no runs, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. Oh, now you want to get out Geraldo. Let's look at ABS. Confirmed, overturned by Rogers. O'Neill gets an overturned. Real Muto with an overturned. Ward with a confirmed. So 1, 2, 3 overturns and 2 confirms. Alright, let's get to some video highlights. More like lowlights. Press the button, you'll see Boz going to work. Though some of the things Boz was doing was fairly good. Alright, what do I have for my keys to this game? Mayo leading off, question mark. Do you really need to say anything else? Did anybody ever think that was going to be a good idea? Look, there are times when you could say doing something like that could be a good idea. Not with Kobe Mayo against Christopher Sanchez. This guy. Yeah, started the All-Star game for the National League. Didn't have a great performance, but... And he's got a 3-pitch mix, which is weird, but it works for him. I mean, he definitely mixes his pitches really well. Of course, they have a good veteran catcher that understands how to call a game back there. That helps. Okay, he's getting a little old, but he still knows the game. What else I got? Encarnacion Strand with a scoop and a throw in the 4th inning. Tavares with a bases loaded opportunity in the 4th inning. There were 2 outs, but still. Gunnar has a nice play in the 5th. Rogers' back pick is in the 6th. Tavares gets another opportunity with the bases loaded. Of course, again, with 2 outs. Gunnar with a non-error in the 7th. I feel like it's got to be an error, but however... Infield in the 8th inning. Guess what? Didn't work. Again. Why do you do it at this point? Look, until it actually starts working for you, you have to do it less. You just have to do it less. Because you're giving away runs. All right, what else? Three relievers to get through the 8th inning. Yeah, you're not going to win too many games if you got to do that. All right, let's fast forward through some of this shit. We'll get to the 4th inning. There's nothing really here. Yeah, strikes out the damn side there. Where are we at here? Tell me where we're at. Tell me, why are you not telling me the inning here, guys? Oh, that was the Bryce Harper double. Again, still not telling me the inning. This is your videos. Good job. Don't tell people where they at. Start getting some walks. You get a fly out, and then a walk, and then a strikeout, and then a walk, and then a walk. That's the Tyler O'Neill walk. We're going to get Christian Encarnacion Strand walking again. And then you're going to get Leody Taveras. Again, 2 outs, so you kind of understand why nothing happens, but at the same time, you got 2 opportunities with the bases loaded. Can't get one of them to go? Hell, this time, Leody's going to strike out. Swing the bat! This is the pitch he struck out on. Okay, it's a little in. You're not wrong. But you know he doesn't throw a 4-seam fastball. Meaning, if it looks like it's going to be in, I missed the Christian Encarnacion Strand play here. If it looks like it's going to be a little bit in like that, it's a 2-seamer. It's going to come back across the plate. He doesn't throw a 4-seam fastball. But apparently, you didn't know that. Yeah, here's the Christian Encarnacion Strand. Oh no, this is Gunnar. Did I say Gunnar had a nice play? I think I did. Oh, I think I missed Encarnacion Strand's play, didn't I? In the 4th somewhere. This one. This is Strand. So there's that. That's pretty neat. Yeah, good. Good for him. Keep fast forwarded it in. That's a Gunner's nice play there. In the 7th, I say he has an error. Where's Rogers' back pick? Oh, that was the nice play for Rogers. Where's the back? Is the back pick the end of the inning? No. It's in the... Rogers is in the 6th. Let's just fast forward through there. It's not worth it. Getting a couple hits here. Bottom of the 5th. Yep. Grounding into double plays. That's great. Grounding balls. Getting out. Because you suck. Oh, that's right. You can see how it just went to the Orioles half of the inning. But here you see Jake Rogers with this back pick. And there's no... This isn't video. There's no video here. What? Why? I mean, all the other things that you're showing clips of, you don't want to show a nice play? You don't want to show a nice defensive play? No, you want to see Orioles getting struck out and the Phillies scoring runs. Anything else, you don't want to make a clip of. It's not even down the line. I mean, I looked. I mean, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I'm not saying it wasn't there. I'm saying I missed it. Here you go, Leody Taveras. As the video shits out on us again, you see him with another opportunity with the bases loaded and do nothing with it. I mean, at least he touched the baseball. He touched the baseball with his bat. It was better than just standing there striking out on a pitch inside the zone. That looked very hittable. That looked like if you just dropped the damn barrel on it, that thing goes out for a grand slam. But you didn't even do that. Yeah, Boz still out there. Still getting outs. Well, trying to. This was a very long at bat. This kind of is really what did him in. If he... How many pitches was this as a bat? This was a very long at bats. Oh, that was a single. And you see Gunnar Henderson there, and I kind of was screwing that up. How is that not an error? How's that not an error? You get a ball hit on the ground to your shortstop, and he doesn't field the ball and throw the guy out. So by not giving him an error, you don't expect Gunnar Henderson to make that play. Because you don't think he's that good? If he really is as good as everybody thinks he is, or he's expected to be, then that should be an error because that's a play he should make. How many pitches was this? 15. 15 pitches on that single by Gunnar Henderson. What is he, falling asleep? Again, here you go, infield drawn in. I mean, are you able to get that ball if the infield is not drawn in? Maybe. who really knows? To me, it didn't really look like it was that far away from Encarnacion Strand. If he's back a little more, he has a little bit more time to get over. Potentially, do you only give up one run at least? Maybe you only give up one run instead of two on that. That's possible. Well, though they did only give up one run, so maybe nothing really changes. Because maybe he makes a diving stop to get the ball, but then just can't get it out. So nothing really happens. Tyler O'Neill pulling up on this ball. I thought he had a chance to catch it. I did. Business decision, I guess. Maybe he knew that the team or the front office really wasn't going to try to win this year, and that they were going to trade Adley Rutschman. They were shopping him. Maybe he knows that, and he made a business decision. Decided not to get himself hurt. It's possible. It's possible. Yeah, this is still Andrew Kittredge out there facing a butt ton of batters, giving up a butt ton of runs. Tyler O'Neill with his flip throw, which virtually no point for that. Finally, you get out of the inning. It doesn't matter. You don't do anything in the ninth because I already told you the score was nothing for the Orioles. So, moving on. Here, game 3. No, this game didn't actually last as many innings as the other game. Final in 6 innings. Baltimore Orioles, nothing. Philadelphia Phillies, 8. Man, this team sucks ass. Dylan Beavers, 1 hit. Pete Alonso, 1 hit. Well, you got a couple hits anyway, I guess. Gunnar Henderson, 0. Taylor Ward, 1 hit. Jackson Holliday, 0. Christian Encarnacion Strand, 0. Leody Taveras, 0. Colton Cowser, 0. Excuse me. Jake Rogers hit and a walk. Man. Of course, technically final in 6, but the Orioles didn't get a chance to bat in the 6th. They just, game's over. But we're going to give the Phillies credit for the 3 runs in the 6th. I guess I always thought that about the rules, that you're not going to give the away team credit for runs that they scored in a 6th inning where the home team doesn't get to bat in a 6th inning. Now, it's still an official game because the Orioles got their chance in the 5th and had no runs on the board. So it's not, at this point, the game isn't close. Which I'm okay with. I don't really get why you're giving the Phillies their 3 runs in the 6th when the Orioles didn't get in at bat. I just thought that that's something you did, but apparently not. Not that it matters. Oh, look, total bases. Alonso, Beavers, Rogers, Ward. Each with 1. Maybe they all knew. Had to be what it was. Had to be what it was. Maybe they knew. Of course, to a certain extent, after the first game, when did they trade Dean Kramer? So I think it was after the first game of the series. I think that was it. They knew with Kramer being traded, Michael Elias was going to sell a bunch of players. Because he knew he was going to sell Ward because you weren't going to sign him next year, so you got to get rid of him. You don't have to. Of course, by that theory, you got to get rid of Trevor Rogers and Andrew Kittredge. We'll see. Pick off. Kyle Bradish. Well, raining, so does the rain help a little bit? You colder out there? You're trying to push the envelope a little bit, Mr. Trey Turner? Maybe. But you got caught slipping, and sliding. Kyle Bradish only able to pitch 3 innings. Yeah, rain delays. That's what happens. 3 full innings pitched for Kyle Bradish. 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. It's not terrible. It's just, because typically when pitchers give up runs early, in a lot of cases, like even Bradish here, they don't give up runs late. Of course, then Bradish did. He actually gave up runs in the third. Of course, that's when it started raining. Anthony Nunez, first man out of the rain delay. Really, Nunez? Pitching a full fourth inning, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, no strikeouts. Well, that didn't work out for you. Josh Walker, next man out of the pen, pitching the full 5th inning, 2 hits, 1 run, no walks, 1 strikeout. I don't think that worked out too well for you either. Albert Suarez in the 6th inning, 1 inning pitch for Albert Suarez, the full 6th inning. But again, by that time, it's raining. It's raining. Substantially raining. 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, no strikeouts. I mean, that's part of it. Because they really shouldn't even have been playing. I mean, look, if you were going to push through it and get through the game, why the hell were they even out there for the top of the 6th inning? Alright, whatever, y'all. Overturned by Rogers and a confirmed for Real Muto. How about that? 53 pitches for Bradish. Yeah. Which isn't terrible through 3 innings. It's not great. I mean, that's a little bit. 17 times 3. That's actually, what, 2 pitches above Major League average, which is, again, isn't terrible. I mean, he had at least 2 more innings in him, you think, you hope anyway. Of course, even if he throws 20 pitches, that's 93. You think he could have gotten through at least 5, but again, with the rain, that kind of screwed everything up. All right. And even, we got this shortened rain delay, this condensed game is still 10 minutes. Okay. We'll see. All right, what are my notes? Yeah, I'm writing here in one of these composition notebooks for my notes. Well, usually I have about 2 lines of notes. I got not even a full 1 line for this one. Rain knocks out both starters early. Nunez, not the right choice after the rain delay. And back to the videos. Yeah, here's Bradish. He's working. We're just kind of watching him fidgeting in between pitches. Hasn't thrown a pitch yet. Oh, there we go. Are you sure this is a condensed game? Oh, all right. Cool. Yep. I am that kind of person. If you haven't been able to tell by now. Strikes out. Good job. Yeah, way to go, everybody. Oh, look at you finally getting hit. Yeah, so it doesn't matter now. Let's fast forward. Nobody cares. Nothing really happening. It was a relatively decent pitcher's duel. The problem is the rain came. That man gets a hit. This is the 3rd inning. This is where the field starts to get a little wet. You can see all the raindrops on the guy helmet. I mean, it's raining. It's raining. Does that help the home run? Maybe harder to grip the baseball. Something. I don't know. Who knows, really? But a home run is a home run. Doesn't really matter. Here's Trey Turner. You're going to see the pickoff. Yeah, you've seen it. It's puddling up. Yeah, it's wonderful that they were making the Orioles pitch through this, but then when it comes time for the Orioles to hit, they don't have the Orioles hit in this. Oh, how convenient. Yep, slipping around. I mean, it happens. I mean, just like you didn't give the Orioles a final at bat, but you made them pitch for the top half of the inning. Again, here, you're making them pitch in the top half of the rain inning, but then when it's their turn to hit in this 3rd inning, you delay the game. Okay. Cool. Thanks. crooked ass umpires, but all right, it's fine. Yeah, if you're going to make the Orioles pitch in this, you gotta let them hit in this, right? I mean, how is that fair? So when people say, "Oh, the conditions are the same for each team," it's really not, because when the Orioles come back out for the bottom of the third, it's not raining. The field's dry-ish. Well, here's the grounds crew trying to make the field playable for the bottom of the third. Just couldn't happen. You saw the forecast. They saw the forecast. Maybe that was part of it, because otherwise, when exactly were they going to be able to get this game in? Maybe late at night. But the Phillies got a game today, and it's not going to be in Camden Yards. So there's that. Oh well. Moving along. Here's the tarp. Oh, look, we're coming out. Things are dry. Look, helmets are dry. Dirt's dry. Oh, it must be easier to pitch. Yeah, that's great. So apparently teams don't have to play under the same conditions. Yeah, wonderful. Whatever. Would have been nice to just, take one for the team, Pete. Take one for the team. Because then you get bases loaded with one out for Henderson instead of that. But now it's 2 outs, second and third for Henderson. I think I'd rather have the 1 out. I mean, almost. Now, if this was in the rain, what happens to that pitch? Is that a home run like that other guy's hit? Don't know. They didn't allow the Orioles to hit in that. I guess. Maybe it's because nobody cares, because the Orioles are a shit-ass organization. Yeah, let's walk in people. Single, walk. Yeah, cool. And then you get a run on a ground out. But at least you got the out. You didn't pull the infield in and have the ball hit by you. You got the out. Which, in my mind, is a good thing. However, just strike out Jackson Holiday and then double play. Wow. Bringing in Josh Walker, because that's your best lefty on lefty person. I don't think he's that good either. He's not. And to a certain extent, why don't you just walk Harper? If there's 1 out, there's nobody on base, why would you pitch to him? I'm sorry, are we trying to win baseball games here? Well, let's not pitch to a very good home run hitter. Look, off day tomorrow, don't put Josh Walker in there. He ain't that good. If you want him to practice getting lefties out, Harper's probably not the guy to mess around with. Probably, maybe. Put somebody else in there better, Cano. Make him earn that contract extension that he just got, which to me still doesn't make sense, because he had 2 more years left of team control. So all they really got was the club option for a 3rd year. That's it? Okay. Whatever, y'all. Here's the 3rd inning. Again, the rain's coming down. Harder now. You can see it there. Yep. It's just going through the stretch now where it is very tough to watch this team. Well, crunch time, right? Trade deadline. Play really well, or half your teammates are gone. And it could be you, or you. Give me orange jersey, guys, or you, or you. Or you. Or you. And yes, a couple of the guys that I was pointing to actually did get traded. That was Dylan Beavers in left field. Not Taylor Ward because he was DHing that day. But yeah. We'll get to the news in a bit. Are we going to call this game yet? Yep, there you go. Called game. Pause. Thank you. All right. So let's get to the news. Get out of here. We're going back to MASNsports.com. I'm going to start here with this article by Rock Kabatko. Acquiring Jake Rogers, catcher, for Double-A pitcher Zane Barnhart, who I'm not familiar with the Tigers, the Detroit Tigers. So, yeah, if that was an indication that the Tigers were going to trade Tarek Skubal, they trade his personal catcher away to the Orioles. Personal catcher, maybe when healthy, usually Jake Rogers was Tarek Skubal's personal catcher. Excuse me. Chadwick Trump is pictured here because he was designated for assignment. All right, next article. All these articles written by Rock Kabatko, of course. Again, one of these days, I'll find another article so I can talk about, give more attribution to other people of this organization. I mean, the Masson staff, I know they're running the website here. I feel like I had more options to get transactions, and then I could say, hey, look, Masson staff, they work here too. But I don't know. Again, we're going to get updates on some injuries here from Rock Kabatko. Mountcastle, he was shut down because of pulled oblique. Samuel Basayo has started throwing and will hit soon. Chris Bassett doing his rehab starts down there with the AAA folks. 2-ish more starts. Yeah, he's going to have at least 2 more. You're not going to have him do only 2 rehab starts. Maybe you might. You never really know, but we are looking at another at least 6 days for Bassett not being on the roster. Felix Bautista throwing live batting practice. All right, cool. Blaze Alexander's hand is healing. Yep, that's it. Oh, yeah. I figured, why give injury updates on Adley Rutschman? If you missed that one. Yeah, that's coming. That's coming. All right, this article here also, Rock Kabatko. Orioles trade Dean Kramer to the Twins for, I'm going to butcher this man's name, Womnardo. Oh, I'm sorry. Womnardo Reyes. It's J-H. I don't know how to pronounce J. If it was just J, I probably could pronounce it, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to say J-H. 18-year-old outfield prospect. Well, I think that name is noteworthy because if he doesn't amount to anything, then Dan Duquette traded Manny Machado for nothing. What'd you get for Manny Machado? A couple years of Dean Kramer being a relatively decent pitcher, which you need. But otherwise, you held on to Manny Machado for all them years. 2016, remember? Yeah, they did get into playoffs. Didn't get a playoff win. Didn't do nothing in 15. You won a division in 14, but then you held on to Manny Machado for all that time. For what reason? Let that be a lesson, Mike Elias. Maybe you should trade Gunnar Henderson this year. Yeah, I said it. What you gonna do about it? Act like Gunnar Henderson's this great player. Next article here. Also by Rock Kabatko. Now, especially with some of these trades, there's a lot of other folks that go into pushing this information out. There are many of them, but I'm not going to get into that right now because this is the website I see it on. Right? That makes sense? Again, Rock Kabatko here with this article traded to the Mariners. We're getting in return 3 total players, 2 pitchers, 3 total pitchers, 2 prospects, and then 1 rookie that does have some major league experience. Now, to a certain extent, when you play so many games in the major leagues, you just stop becoming a prospect. You're not a prospect anymore. You're a rookie, but you're not really a prospect anymore. So he's in his mid-20s, where the other guys are in their very low, maybe even teens. So maybe we get something there. Who the hell knows? I mean, it's tough to say. We'll find out later. I mean, we'll always know who exactly, because of technology and stuff. When pitchers get good, we will figure out where they came from and how they got them. Did they draft them? Did they sign them? Did they trade for them? We'll track that. Like Dean Kramer, for example, we didn't know who the hell he was. His name wasn't even in the deal when the Dodgers. It was Yiner Diaz, outfielder, who I don't think ever actually played in the major leagues. And Dean Kramer and some other guy, Zach Pop, maybe? But Dean Kramer was the only one that did anything in the major leagues. And now he's gone. So again, if these guys don't get here, then the move was for nothing. So again, for example, these 3 pitchers that I'm talking about, if they don't do anything important in the major leagues with the Orioles, then you traded Grayson Rodriguez for nothing. How many more years of team control does Grayson Rodriguez have? Yep. Let's refresh this one, because this one has been updated as well, but they haven't retracted this, so as far as I was reading in this article, it's not officially official yet, because with the injury to Rutschman, there needs to be physicals and doctor visits and league approvals and all that. But Mike Elias has traded Adley Rutschman to the Red Sox. Yeah. What does Mike Elias get in return? 2 pitching and 1 outfielding prospect. 2 pitching and 1 outfielding prospect. 2 pitching and 1 outfielding prospects. 3 prospects, 2 pitching, 1 outfield. Whichever one works there. As well as Carlos Narvaez, which is, from what I understand about the Red Sox roster, not that I'm a complete know-it-all of the Red Sox roster, he is a relative backup catcher. Part-time to full-time, who knows. I feel like they said, 60 games of 100? Maybe he's the starting catcher. I feel like they had an injury, didn't they? I do not know. We'll see. We'll dive more into what exactly Narvaez is and what his contract is and how good he is. Of course, if this deal comes through, then, we'll see him play. Because also, again, not officially official, but it also was reported that the Orioles are sending Jake Rogers to the Red Sox as well. Okay. Yeah, what? Why does Mike Elias still have his job? Because honestly, you know what this admits? It admits that he can't draft for shit. You trade your 1-1 after 3 or 4 years? You should have drafted Bobby Witt Jr. Everybody was saying that. Whatever, y'all. Look, I get about, you liking catchers and stuff. The problem is, Witt would have been a better option because he's a shortstop. You want that 1-1. If you're a new GM, that 1-1, you got this 1-1 pick. You don't want it to be a catcher. Their position and with their injury history, it's just, maybe it's, excuse me, maybe it's not just as volatile as a pitcher, but it's close. As many times as they throw the ball back to the pitcher, yeah, them having arm problems, rotator cuff, Tommy John, it's not out of the norm. Third baseman having Tommy John surgery, that's out of the norm. It's not really out of the norm for catchers. Now, how many bats do they take to the back of the head? How many times do they reach for a ball and they get their hand smacked by the bat because the damn batters are all the way into the back of the batter's box? Whatever. Should have been Bobby Witt Jr. And people said that. But to a certain extent, I guess you thought, oh, well, I'll take Rutschman here, catcher, and then I'll get a shortstop at the 30th pick. Though, at the same time, you might be trading Gunnar Henderson soon. All right, let's get to the schedule. Get the hell out of here. Wrap this shit up. All right, today, Monday, off day. No, it's not a across-the-board rule that teams are off during the trade deadline or for the final few hours of the trade deadline. There are several other games. It just happens that the Orioles got off. So, again, Monday, off day. Tuesday starts a 3-game set with the Los Angeles Angels. And yes, supposedly, Grayson Rodriguez is on the active roster. Figures, don't it? Yep. Tuesday. Tuesday's game scheduled 6:35. Wednesday's game scheduled 6:35. Thursday's game scheduled 12:35. And then they'll go to Texas and play with the Texas Rangers. So that's going to do it for this edition of Ryno's Orioles Report. Please stay tuned for Friday, and we'll discuss the series between the Baltimore Orioles and the Texas Rangers. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm the Angry Ryno. Thanks for watching, O's fans.